YouTube, what is going on? It is your boy Jordan JC on the ATS report and Jim Irsay. Jim Irsay, Jim Irsay, Jim Irsay. What are we going to do with you? Reports have come out that Jim Irsay has continued to have this back and forth battle with Jonathan Taylor, the Colts running back, the star running back, who has pretty much proven himself over the course of his time in the NFL. As of right now, I believe he is recovering from injury. He is on the PUP list, and now that training camp has started, he's out there, but he's on the sidelines. And one of the issues now is that Jim Irsay is not up for trying to put a contract out there. And it just seems like this is just an issue completely around the whole NFL. The whole NFL landscape apparently now devalues the running back position. Have we seen it in the draft? A lot of times, or at least from what I used to see in the draft, the running backs were taken early in the first round, right? Where there were a slew of running backs that would just come off the board. Their talent was undeniable. What they could bring to the team. Running was a little bit more part of the football game. It was part of the game plan more so back in the day. And so now that the league has transitioned more to a pass-happy league in a sense, where the position, I believe, is just being devalued. Now you have running backs that are pretty much on the fence saying, hey, what about us? Where's our value? Where's our reward for being these star players? You have the likes of Saquon Barkley, Josh Jacobs. I mean, if the list goes on and on, Derrick Henry, all of these running backs are deserving of money days, like their day in the sun where they get a large contract. And right now, Jonathan Taylor is thinking about whether or not he should stay with the Colts because of that. Now, here's the reason why it's an issue for me. All these owners have money, obviously, right, coming out of their ears. Jim Irsay has been in the news as being a philanthropist. Now, philanthropist, excellent idea, right? I'm amazed at those that are able to give because they have the money and the resources to do so. Here's what Jim Irsay just did not too recently. He spent $20 million to transport a killer whale that has been in a small enclosure in Miami, Florida for over 53 years, a small containment area, and now they're trying to transport that killer whale back into the open seas in the Pacific Ocean. Now, do I have a personal issue with the actual act? Absolutely not. I think it's a noble gesture, a noble act that Jim Irsay is allowing this animal, this whale, to go back to its natural habitat. I mean, that's noble. Now it can live its days out in its natural environment. But instead of thinking about Free Willy, how about you think about freeing Jonathan Taylor so he actually doesn't want to leave? How about you actually think about a contract for this man? That has been the issue in the NFL for a while now. And so what does Jonathan Taylor have to do? Does he have to come to training camp in a whale suit to get your attention? When you're doing contract negotiations, are you going to tell him, oh, you know what, I'm sorry, I don't have any more money because I gave it to whale relocation? Again, noble, but you also have a team that you're running. You are the owner of the Indianapolis Colts. And so my thing is you need to focus on valuing your players more. And it seems like, again, that's the thing across the whole NFL with these owners is they are starting to devalue that position. And it's not that I don't or I won't ignore the signs. Business-wise, I believe the owners are looking at it like this. And I'll give you an example, even more in particular. The Dallas Cowboys, right? Ezekiel Elliott has been a household name for many years, whether it be on your fantasy football teams or in reality. It's America's team. He's been the running back. He's been the bell cow for years, right, when he was in his prime. Past couple of years, he's been going through injury. He's been having these run shares with Tony Pollard. And now it's Tony Pollard's team. Tony Pollard has been the best backup in the league for a while now. Now he gets to be that guy, that bell cow. And so what I think a lot of owners are thinking is, hey, we can devalue this position because whether or not we have a superstar, whether or not I'm the Giants owner, I have Saquon, whether or not I'm the Titans owner, I got Derrick Henry, or the Raiders owner, I got Josh Jacobs, I can just wait this out. They can give me all their worth, their value, all of their energy, and I can run them into the ground, and then there will be somebody younger and newer and cheaper coming out of the draft or in our running back room already that will replace them. Is that right? Now, again, I understand the business aspect of it. Thinking like a businessman, that's not lost on me. But at the same time, is it right for you to continue to have this notion, this thought process that these running backs don't mean anything? Because there's going to come a time where there's going to be a revolt against that. They're already speaking it up across the league. These running backs are starting to talk. And it's going to get to a point where possibly they may hold out if they're not getting the needed contracts, the necessary contracts, the guaranteed money that they deserve. Everybody has lives and people that they need to feed, right? And so I think at the end of this, hopefully it gets resolved. And going back full circle to the Indianapolis Colts, I think Jim Irsay needs to get his head on straight. It's noble that he has all of these other things that he's interested in doing and helping and, a cause for. But I also think that he needs to get back to being the owner and primarily focusing in on the stars of his team and making sure that they're taken care of. Because before you know it, as Jonathan Taylor already has said, I want out. So are you going to be able to fix this, or is he truly just going to be gone? Is he already had enough where there is no reconciliation? There is no fixing what's already broke. We'll see. How do you all feel about this situation? How do you all feel about the running back around in the NFL, the landscape of the running back position? Do you think it's devalued? Do you think that the owners need to put a little bit more stake into that position, especially the stars of the league? Or do you feel otherwise? Do you disagree with me? Leave your comments below in the section, and I'll see you on the next episode of the ATS Report.